Hey YouTube, how's everybody doing out there on the internet? YouTube land. Got my Mossberg 500 field model disassembled here. Just doing a basic cleaning, disassembly, field stripping, uh, taking it all apart, getting it all cleaned up nice for the upcoming duck and goose season. Just wanted to talk a little bit about these shotguns a little bit. So I have a Mossberg 590 without, home defense barrel and that kind of thing. This is the regular Mossberg 500, not the 590. Well, this is the receiver and the magazine tube and the grip. I got a Magpul stock, and there's the barrel. I believe that's a 26 or a 28-inch barrel. Anyways, what I want to talk about is on the regular Mossberg 500s, there appears to be no easily accessible way to remove the spring from the magazine tube. And the reason I say that, on the regular 590 that I have on the end of the cap, here I'll show you this one. This one's just threaded at the end, that's where the barrel screws on. On the regular 590, there's just like a retainer piece in there that you can just kind of pry out carefully, and then the spring and the follower comes out, the magazine follower and the spring. With this, doesn't appear you can do that. It's just one solid piece threaded on this end. So what I did to clean the inside of that magazine tube out, I put a small funnel at the end of this, and I actually flushed it out with some pretty strong gun solvent here. You can see I got about half a gallon or so left. This is called Ed's Red solvent, and if you're not familiar with that, it's just a homemade gun cleaner. It's got 1 part kerosene, 1 part acetone, 1 part mineral spirits, and 1 part automatic transmission fluid. And it was a friend of mine that gave me the concoction for this gun solvent, gun cleaner, and it works pretty well. It's great for cleaning out barrels, especially if you shoot corrosive ammo. I use it for that kind of thing, as well as cleaning out shotgun barrels, plastic residue, wad residue, that kind of thing. Anyways, to clean this magazine tube out, since the spring is not easily removable, like I said, I put a small plastic automotive funnel in there and flushed it out with the solvent. And the magazine follower up in the receiver is stopping most of that fluid from just pouring out into the receiver, which is kind of good, because then I just kind of put my thumb over that and shook it up and basically just flushed it out, and it came out. I can't really see in there to see how clean it is, but the fluid changed from this nice transparent red color to a pretty nasty brown, so it definitely flushed some stuff out of there. With that being said, I had an idea that I wanted to talk about. Gunsmiths, feel free to chime in. Anybody that's has a lot of experience with this kind of thing. I've been shooting for about 15 years, but I'm no certified gunsmith, but I can tinker with guns here and there. But I was thinking, since this tube is non-removable, you could drill a small drain hole in that magazine follower. There's the follower there. Just drill a small, maybe a 1/4 inch hole. Make sure there's no burrs or anything on there. And that way, when you flush that tube out with solvent, the fluid would just drain on through, and then I got my air compressor nozzle. I like to use this for gun cleaning too. You could blow compressed air in there and blow any kind of dirt or residue right out the back. I did blow in there anyway, but since the follower's in there, a lot of that just kind of came right back out the top, which, it's going to be good enough for now. I have seen YouTube videos where people, or maybe it was just one video I saw, somebody, took a blowtorch or a propane torch to this and heated up the Loctite and, unthreaded the magazine tube from the receiver, and they were able to get to it that way. That seems kind of overkill to me for that. Again, with the other shotgun I have, the Mossberg 590, I'm able to take that retainer piece out of the end of the magazine tube and slide that spring right out. And it does definitely need cleaning once in a while, I tell you, because I've wiped the inside of that out several times, the 590, and it comes out, those patches, these cleaning patches here, they come out pretty nasty. So it does accumulate some dirt and grime and grease and that kind of thing. Now, as far as flushing the tube out on the 500, I would just make sure you use anything that's gonna, like the solvent here, most of this evaporates and it doesn't really leave any oily residue or oily substance behind. I wouldn't flush that out with gun oil. I suppose you could use like rubbing alcohol or something like that, something that evaporates, but the theory is, when I'm putting that fluid down in there inside that magazine tube, it's, for one, it's coating that spring and kind of rinsing, so to speak, any of the grease or grime out. Obviously, that's not a complete substitute for physically wiping it out, but I feel like it's a lot better than nothing, especially where on these Mossberg 500s, the tube, is threaded into that receiver with Loctite. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Hopefully I'm explaining this well. I'm doing my best here to explain what I'm doing. Let me know what you guys think about this. You think I should drill a hole in that magazine follower so that way when I flush it out with solvent, it, all the fluid just runs right through and any grit, grime, dirt, grease will just run into the receiver, and then I can just either wipe it out or, again, use the compressor nozzle and blow it out. I'm a big fan of doing that with gun parts. Seems to work well. It kind of thins the oils out and spreads them out more evenly. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about if you've done this before. If you've got a lot of oil or solvent or whatever it is on your gun receivers, gun parts, etc., blowing compressed air really kind of thins that out, and it's more of an even coat, I think. Tell me what you guys think of this idea and this whole idea of flushing this tube out. Unless there's a better way to get that spring out of there and clean it, I'm not aware of. I know, like I said, the 590s, those are easy enough. I can take that retainer piece out here and that spring comes right out, wipe it out, all is good. But these Mossberg 500s, there's nothing here on the end that I can remove to pull that spring out, and the magazine tube is threaded into the receiver with Loctite, and I don't really want to take a torch to it and remove it and all that just to clean the spring. But I'm going to get this wrapped up and put back together. Let me know what you guys think.